subject of mental illness is a touchy one, especially when it surrounds a loved one or someone else you are close to. Many people who are suffering from mental illness can hide it so well, even from themselves. Joining us via phone is Dr. Walter Afield, medical doctor and psychiatrist, to shed some light on the subject. Good morning, Walter.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Fine.
Well, you're in sunny Tampa, Florida. You must be great.
Well, yes, I am. But as I tell you, I spent a long time in Massachusetts, know Springfield well, and Springfield's magnificent at this time of year and during the summer.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you. That's fantastic. So we're going to talk about mental illness. So is performing one's job necessarily an indicator of mental stability, even if they're performing it sufficiently?
Well, you know, I like to use Winston Churchill's comment that 95% of things done in the world are done by people who are not mentally well. And that's a tongue-in-cheek comment, but it's quite correct. You have to have a monkey on your back. You got to have some kind of neurotic thing pushing you, otherwise you don't get anything done or you don't create anything. There is nothing wrong with having problems. We all have problems with our families, mothers, fathers, wives, kids, and some of it's very bizarre. But as long as you have the problems under control, you don't need to see somebody like me. It's when the problems have you that you wind up seeing somebody. Yes, people can have serious mental problems, but because they're in a field where they can become workaholics, you see it with doctors a lot, you can just focus and work 80 hours a week and make a lot of money and never have to deal with emotional issues, and they do it very well. But yes, people do have problems. They cover them up. Working is a sign of stability as opposed to non-working, but that's just a generalized kind of situation. The issue is, can you keep your own problems under control and function, and are you hurting? If they get control of you, then you need help.
How well can psychological disorders be hidden by those who have them, even from people who are close to them?
Everybody is personal and private. They keep things to themselves. One of the big fears, at least when people come to see someone like me, is if they really let go, they're going to be they're crazy. And everyone's afraid they're crazy underneath. And if you go see someone, it's like taking the cork off a champagne bottle. It all bubbles out and they lose control. That's normal. You're not crazy. We cover things up, and nobody sees the deep inside of anybody. The guys who are most adept at this, of course, are the politicians. You never lay a glove on what's going on inside their personality. Occasionally, like Congressman Boehner, it'll kind of dribble out with some tears, but otherwise, you don't see anybody's inside unless they choose to tell you.
Exactly. If someone does have a mental illness, is hiding it a conscious effort, or do they not necessarily even know they have one?
No, it's a very conscious effort. It takes a lot of effort. And the best analogy kind of is if you're in a house and you have a trap door and there's a bear underneath trying to break out through the trap door, and you spend all this time keeping your foot on the trap door so the bear won't come get you. Well, if you're doing all that, you can't do anything else. It takes a lot of effort to cover up problems, and people do it all the time. The only thing that consoles them once they begin to talk with somebody, and that occurs in marriage and any kind of good relationship, is they're not alone. Everybody has the same kind of situations, and this is the human condition. We all have serious problems. It's
just so true. The word normal it's so hard to say what is normal because everyone is so different and everyone has problems. So it is nice to know that it's not something you should hide. If you need help, it's okay to ask for it.
Absolutely. And, you know, people do this. They used to do it all the time in the churches. They still do it with friends. That's what friendship's about. And the only marriages that I've seen that are good is where people are able to be open and honest with each other, and it's hard work. There may be some fighting, screaming, and carrying on, but at least they're still open. And if you can't do that, you really have an unfortunate problem because you have to keep things in, and it comes out in other ways.
And doctor, for those who have a senior citizen in their life, what are some of the differences between psychological disorders or mental instability and Alzheimer's or dementia?
Well, the difficulty is you've got a whole generation who are going to have to take care of elderly parents. And nobody likes this concept, and they don't like them being helpless. The parents do not want to give up their independence as they start to fade away. If you get into severe Alzheimer's, you don't know where you are, that's one thing. But most people become frail, scared, want to be near family. Age is really a mental state of mind. You know, when I was a kid, I thought I was going to die at 54. 60 used to be considered old age. I'm seeing people now who are 104, 107.
So true.
Still with it. So people are afraid they're going to lose control, and ultimately the kids have to step in and take care of their parents. Parents take care of them, and ultimately this is the reverse thing, and it's a real problem because of watching somebody fade away, dealing with the bureaucracy of the Medicare and the red tape and nursing homes. You want to avoid a nursing home at all costs. Now, those are problems for everybody. Everybody gets upset. The problems are the same. Seniors and kids all love, hate, get depressed, go up and down, and if their mind is good, they continue to have these feelings until the day they die.
Dr. Walter Afield, thanks so much for your time this morning.
Good luck. Have a good time in Springfield.
Thanks. Have a good time in Florida.